Yes, that's an interesting question, isn't it? There is no genealogy there in John. I imagine that since John, I think, was written probably in the 90s, late in the first century, he would have known, I think, of the genealogies in Matthew and in Luke, and he would have said, I don't need to repeat that. That's my guess. I don't know that for sure. But John begins further back, right back in the early years of creation, in the beginning, in Archi. God had a mind. God was expressing his plan and his purpose. And then that word began to walk around when the word became flesh in verse 14. You'll note that in verse 5 of John 1, you have a statement about the light. It's called it, the light shining. It reminds us of Genesis, of course. The light was shining.
There are allusions. Of course, the book of John does not have a genealogy at
Genealogy. No,
all.
it doesn't. No, I think not.
Why do they all have to have a genealogy, by the way? They don't
Right.
all have to have a genealogy.
No,
Mark doesn't,
true.
only Luke and Matthew. It's like saying, why doesn't John have the Shema? Or why
Right.
doesn't Matthew have the
That's
Shema?
right. You
Only
can't
Mark
say
has the
everything.
Shema.
That's
So,
right. Good
but I,
point.
I would use verses like this in John 1:49,
Mm-hmm.
where
Yes.
Nathaniel recognizes that he's the king of Israel, which is
Yes.
code word for the son of David, right?
Absolutely. And Son of God and Son of David. So he does do a lot of identifying. Remember in John 4:26, Jesus is talking to a Samaritan lady, and she sets up the conversation in John 4:26, and the lady from Samaria said, we know the Messiah is coming. They did. Samaritan people understood the Messiah was coming. And Jesus looks her in the eye and says, I, the one speaking to you, am he. Now, that doesn't mean I'm God. It means I'm the Messiah in that context. And Jesus constantly says, I am the Messiah. So when he says, I'm he, it's me. I am the bread of life. I'm the door, and all those things. He means I am the Messiah. Never ever did Jesus say what's said in Exodus 3, where God, the one God, said, I am the one who is going to come, meaning I'm the one who always comes. I will be what I will be, something like that. In Greek, ego eimi o on, the self existent one. That's what God said in Exodus 3. Jesus never ever said that. Would have been total blasphemy. He would have been worthy of death, and correctly so, for claiming to be God. So he goes on to say, I'm the Son of God. I'm the Messiah. John 4:26 is a verse you're going to use, I hope, a lot in explaining this to your friends.